Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, welcome if you are new. So today we are doing a cleaning marathon. I don't know about you, but with Christmas and now New Year's, life has been hectic and I have a ton to get done. So I figured today would be perfect to do a cleaning marathon. If you guys do not know what this is where I take a compilation of some of my best cleaning motivation, put it all in one video to give you hours and hours of speed cleaning motivation. So we are going to get into this. I hope you guys are ready. Let's do it. So when I am cleaning, I either start in our bedroom or in our kitchen. It kind of depends on the day. This was over Thanksgiving break, so I wasn't getting up as early to take the kids to school and everything. And often on those days, Bobby sleeps in. He's more of a night owl. I'm more of the one that gets up in the morning with the kids. So if he's in bed, I'm going to start in the kitchen. But with this being over the kids' break, I got to sleep in a little as well, so I am starting in the bedroom on this day, and my goal was doing the doors. I really wanted to get the doors in our room really cleaned. I've done little wipe downs of them, but they needed to be thoroughly done. I also need to get in here and do a good white coat of paint. I didn't even notice that there's a slight wood strip to the right of the door, so when I painted all the trim, it's like indented in the door. So I got to get in there with a little paintbrush and touch all that up. These are also things that when you're doing a lot, it's really easy to miss. And then like when you're coming down, you start realizing all the little things that still need to be done. Oh, and if you're wondering what I'm cleaning the doors with, I'm just using my Thieves Cleaner. I love my Thieves Cleaner. You guys see me use it all the time. I love how well it cleans, but also just the fragrance of the Thieves Cleaner is one of my favorites and my go-to because it is so versatile, being able to use it on literally everything. Glass, doors, counters, absolutely everything I can use it on. So if I'm looking for a just go around the house, get everything clean super quick, I grab my Thieves Cleaner because I can. It makes life so much easier. This was also my day of just getting all the laundry done. I've talked about this before, that I've tried the one load a day laundry situation, and it just does not work for me. So I do all my laundry in one day, other than bedding. Bedding I will do throughout the week. Like one day I'll do the boys' bedding, then next day I'll do Freya's bedding, and one day I'll do our bedding. But when it comes to clothes, I can't do the one load a day. It stresses me out even more. So I just try and get it done all in one day. That way I don't have to worry about it and think about it anymore. Makes my life a lot easier. So our bathroom wasn't too bad. It just needed a little bit of a wipe down, which I try and do regularly, which is why I like keeping these Lysol wipes around, because it's a no-brainer. If I notice something, I can just go under the counter, grab it, wipe it down, throw it out. Makes my life so much easier. So I'm just quickly doing that. But the big thing in the bathroom I wanted to touch on is right by the door where Bailey lays. If you've been on my channel, I tell you Bailey always lays right in the bathroom, and he lays right by the door. The grout lines were getting discolored, and my regular just mopping wasn't cleaning them. So I have seen all over the place using the Zep grout cleaner worked well. So I picked it up because I wanted to try it myself, and I will agree 110% that this stuff is amazing. I sprayed it on, let it sit for no more than 5 minutes. I just went and quickly did something and came back, grabbed my cleaning toothbrush, and all the grime of, okay, this is gross, but it's Bailey's slobber from drooling on the floor when he's sleeping in here, came right off. It was so easy. There was really no scrubbing. I probably didn't even need this toothbrush. I just grabbed it because I figured it would get in the grout lines really easy. So after I scrubbed that off, I just quickly wiped it down with a Lysol wipe, but then brought in my vacuum mop to do a quick cleanup. I liked using the vacuum mop for this because instead of just pushing the dirt around, it actually sucks up all the dirt and everything, which is why I love using these vacuum mops, because I'm not reusing dirty water. It's always fresh and clean coming out and pulls the dirt up, so the floors also dry a ton faster.
That's not okay. When you feel like you're fed up with heartbreak, and you know that you can't take another day.
Moving on to the kitchen. The kitchen was I say kind of chaotic. It was very chaotic. We had people over the night before, and then the kids wanted pancakes in the morning. So there was just stuff everywhere. Stuff still from the night before that I didn't get to once people left, and then morning breakfast and just all the things. So I need to go through and give the entire kitchen a reset. I also knew I had a grocery order coming in, so I wanted to clean out my fridge really well. I haven't done a really good thorough deep clean of my fridge, sadly, since moving in, which is, you guys know, for me is bad. Like, I try and deep clean my fridge like once a month. Now, I've done wipe downs and stuff, but like actually deep clean it, I try and do about once a month, and I just haven't gotten to it. And today was the day that I'm like, nope, we are getting to it. We are getting this done. So I just wiped everything down. That way I could move onto the fridge and pull everything out.
I am here with my friends and we're dancing. We can feel all the obstacles go away. That's how we play. We can never go back this road. We can never go back that way. I see you standing in the corner like it's okay. Don't you know that you move with your body? Don't you know that you move with your body? We can never go back this road. We can never go back that way. I see you standing in the corner like it's okay. Don't you know that you move?
All right, so I need to know if you guys have been getting notified of my shorts that I've been doing, and if you've been enjoying them. I know it's very new to my channel, but I knew I wanted to do something where I could show you guys in short form video, like more of my deep cleaning process of different areas in the house, because it's not always easy, one, to remember when you watch a full 30-minute video what I did for different things, or even for myself. I often get asked, like, how do you do this? What's your favorite that? Different things like that. And it's easy to forget those things and forget which video I did them in. So even when people ask, I can't be like, oh, go look at such and such video, because I often don't remember. So I've been enjoying these shorts. I hope you guys have as well. Like I said, let me know if you guys have been watching them and getting notified, just so I kind of know what's going on. It's hard on my end because I don't know exactly how well the algorithm is pushing it out. Also, let me know in the comments below other short ideas that you guys want to see. Things maybe you had questions on that I didn't answer thoroughly enough in a video. Let me know. I will do a short for you. That way it's easy for you to find. All you have to do is click on my page and go to shorts, and then they are all right there.
With your body.
I really wanted to get it right. Trying to find some balance in my life, but I never really put up a fight. Didn't follow my dreams, and now I'm losing sleep. Slow it down, glimpse of yours if you want. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth the ride. You will make it in time. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll be okay. Just listen to me as I say, you'll make it in time.
Oh, one thing I've been getting a ton of questions on is my Scrub Daddy wand. I found that on Amazon. I have been absolutely loving it because it holds the soap in it. I think some people have been confused that I've been just wiping it down with the Scrub Daddy, but there is soap in the wand, which makes it really easy, where I just like press the button and just enough soap comes out to clean the different dishes. So I found that on Amazon, and I have really been enjoying it. I use it for everything: washing dishes, scrubbing out the sink, absolutely everything. You guys have seen me using it now for a couple weeks. I don't think it's been quite a month that I've been using it, but getting close to that.
As I say, what if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll be okay.
All right, now on to my fridge. The biggest issue with my fridge is it just wasn't organized. Like, it felt like it was so full, but you're going to see when I am all done with this, like, my fridge had so much more space in here, and it was purely an organization thing. Like, I had some leftovers that I could get rid of, but for the most part, everything went back in the fridge, and I had a ton more room to get all my groceries in and organized. I feel like I'm like starting over when it comes to the cleaning process of reorganizing and everything. I have a bunch of organization projects that have to get done in this house. Luckily, I've gotten some of it done, like the kids' rooms and things like that, but like I have not touched my linen closet since moving in. It is horrendous. So that's going to be coming up. There's a closet in the laundry room that I really haven't touched. I've just thrown stuff in. So I'm now like really getting on the game of getting my house not just deep cleaned, but organized. And I'm feeling so much better as I get through each of these projects, getting more and more organized. It's just something that always mentally puts me in such a better space when my house is cleaned and organized.
Put some music on, turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed, blow the candles out, move your body slow. You got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go. Try to help you let it go. Try to help you let it. Baby, I still wear the shirt you gave me, 'cause it reminds me of the
Oh, and for wiping down the fridge, I'm using my Thieves Cleaner as well. I like it because it's not going to have all the chemicals that using like the Lysol spray and stuff like that is. I just feel a lot more comfortable cleaning with my Thieves Cleaner when it comes to my refrigerator.
clothes off the bed, blow the candles out, move your body slow. You got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go. Try to help you let it go. Try to help you let it. If you got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go. You got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go.
All right, so I have to know what you prefer for a sink. Do you prefer double basins or single basins? But my next question is what did you have originally? I feel like from what I've gotten in my comments, a lot of people that have had a single basin for a long time is always like, oh, I wish I had a double basin. And then vice versa. If you've always had double basins, you're like, oh, I wish I just had a big single basin sink. I am a person that always had a double basin. And then when we designed this kitchen, I'm like, no, I want one big sink. And I do not regret it at all. Cleaning bigger dishes or like this, trying to clean out the things in the fridge made life so much easier. I just plopped it in there. It cleaned super easy. I am absolutely loving having this single basin, but I'm curious, is my theory right where if you always had a single basin that you want a double basin, and vice versa, if you have a double basin you want a single basin? Like, I don't know. That's what I seem to get when I see the comments from you guys, that the people that like the doubles have singles, or the people that like the singles have doubles, or had doubles, one or the other.
Deep inside of my wildest dreams, you'll be by my side when the sun goes
I will say getting these shelves in and out for the first time, I had a really hard time. And the biggest reason is like I said, I have not deep cleaned this fridge. This is the first time, which means the first time me taking out these shelves, I didn't realize they still had the tape connecting the shelves. So that's why I was having such a hard time figuring this out in the beginning. Once I got the tape off and like figured out what I was doing, it was a lot easier. But definitely at first, I was struggling hardcore to get these shelves in and out.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again, but life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know.
Here you can see what I was talking about how much I had the full bottom shelf that I didn't have anything on it. It's insane how much more space I had in this fridge once cleaning it out. And like I said, I really didn't take a lot of stuff out of here. You can see that was the homemade kielbasa that my dad and uncle made. I threw that in the freezer real quick, but other than that, pretty much everything went back in the fridge, and there was so much more room.
Emotions, I'll go, running to better times, to better times, to better times.
And then just a quick mop in the kitchen, and I was done in this room. Like I said, the biggest thing was going to be the fridge, and then all the dishes and stuff that were left out between breakfast and having company the night before. And this is always just like a finishing touch, especially after wiping off the chairs, mainly the one that Freya sits at. There's always crumbs and stuff under the island, and it just makes sense that if I'm going to be doing all this cleaning, I might as well end with the floors and make sure it's done thoroughly and well. But I will say I did also then turn on the Roborock to do a vacuum of the entire main living area, because that is just my best friend. And when I'm trying to get a bunch of other stuff done, I can turn my Roborock on, and it takes a chore that would have taken me probably 30 minutes to do and does it for me. And the reason I had the Roborock done is I knew I had to get into baby girl's room. Her room had gotten kind of crazy. I often have the boys help Freya clean in her room, but on this day I was having them clean up their bedroom, so I went into her room. You will see them come in because Bjorn especially likes to play with Freya in her room, so there was some things in her room that didn't belong there. So I had the boys come in and grab like their car tracks and little Nerf guns and things like that. And Freya just came in and played. I tried to get her to clean up, and she just wasn't having it. She was having more fun playing. And there's certain days that I will push the subject, and there's other days that I just want to get it done. And let's be realistic, it's going to be a lot faster if I do it myself anyway.
I see something, it's coming up on the horizon. Oh, let me clear my head and get rid of the distractions. Oh, I was down when I saw you in the clouds. I had days filled with doubt. I was drifting come over? Let me get to know ya. Hey, nah, 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 nah. Delve into emotion. Leave us in this moment.
So I know I've mentioned this a lot, but I also get questions all the time about the kids' bedding. Their bedding is from Betty's. I've had it now for 2 years, I want to say. I love these beds because they are super easy to make. The boys make their beds every day, and it's always looks really good because all they have to do is zip it up and make my life a lot easier. But the other thing, I had someone that had bought the same rug that I have in Freya's bedroom, and was saying that when they vacuum that the corners come up sometimes. That is normal. These rugs are more lightweight, so you'll notice even when I do it that they sometimes come up. I like to keep the furniture on the edges. That's a big help. And then if I'm going around a corner, I'll go a little bit slower, or I'll put my foot on the edge to give it that extra weight. But just know you're not doing anything wrong. That is normal with these rugs. They're a little bit more lightweight, and you got to be a little bit careful or more careful when you're shampooing them or vacuuming them.
Nah, nah. Please won't you come over? Let me get to know ya. Hey, nah, 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 nah. Delve into emotion. Leave us in this moment.
You said that you needed me like a cargo, you will carry me. I just hope you know my depth, even though it makes no sense. Sometimes I'm broken.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. My name is Cambriea. So today we are getting a bunch of cleaning done in this video. My big thing was getting the floors really clean because it's been kind of gloomy and rainy here the past couple of days, which means my floors are extra dirty because the dog's going in and out of the house. So I was just trying to get as much done as possible. This is pretty much a whole house cleaning. The only areas you may not see me clean is the boys' bedroom, and that's because I don't clean their bedroom that often. The boys have gotten old enough that really is their responsibility, and only about once a month do I go in their room and give it a thorough cleaning. They've even gotten really good at dusting and vacuuming and things like that, so a once a month mommy do-over does happen, but not on the regular. So yeah, we're going to get into today's video. If you're new here, like I said, my name is Cambriea. I am a mom of 3. I have a 10, 7, and 2-year-old. So needless to say, I always have something to clean. And then on top of that, we have 2 very large dogs. So hair and pet messes and things like that is normal. So hopefully you guys enjoy today's video.
Too much of emotions. Sometimes I'm the light. Don't wanna pick a fight with. Everything seems so good. I guess I can't help myself. Would you hold me if I'm in the dark?
So it's insane. I was looking the other day at how much longer we have until Christmas. And with the day you guys are seeing this, it's the kids' last day of school before winter break. And I feel like Christmas has come up on us so quickly. It's insane. We're going to be starting a new year very soon. But I don't know about you. I'm always excited about the new year because I know a lot of time it's like cliche to have New Year's resolutions and stuff. But there is something about a new year that gives you that opportunity to be like, okay, it's a fresh start. It's a brand new year. But it can also be intimidating. Like, oh, it's a brand new year. So it's one of those things of I'm always excited and a little bit nervous. And I can't believe that we are literally weeks away before a whole new chapter in our lives. But I'm super excited. Are you guys ready for Christmas? I'm curious. Are you hosting? We're hosting this year. We always really enjoy hosting Christmas. We're going to do Christmas Eve at my parents' house, do a little bonfire and s'mores and stuff like that with the kids. And then Christmas Day, my aunt and uncle, mom and dad are coming over here. And then New Year's Day is going to be at my parents' house as well. So we have a lot coming up. Busy as always. I'm sure all of you guys know how crazy holidays get. So just trying to get everything done, stay on top of things, because it is so easy to let things slide when life gets so crazy, because there's so many other things going on in your head, especially with like us being, well, not all of us, but a lot of us are women, and our brains are just like wired to overthink. Like, we can't just focus on cleaning. It's always like focusing on cleaning and then thinking about the Christmas party we have to set up, and then the kids need treats for their last Christmas party before winter break and all of these things. So trying to stay on top of it. It's often easiest just to take little steps at a time and not overwhelm yourself, but I also know that sometimes is easier said than done. So hopefully this video just like helps motivate you to tackle maybe just a room in your house, or maybe you're hosting and you need to get the whole house done. Hopefully it gives you the motivation to get that done, because I know often I need it myself.
The sideline where you wanted me. I'm by the byway, waiting for your lead. I don't wanna fall in love like this, but I can't help to fall for you repeatedly. I don't wanna seem to shaky. Oh no, like I'm sudden but it's steady. Oh no, and they tell me to.
So in the bathroom, and I have brought this up multiple times, like our bathroom stays pretty clean. It's mainly just Bobby and I in there, and we're both pretty good at cleaning up after ourselves and not letting it get insane. But I do have one area in my bathroom that is always dirty, even like on this day. So it's right by my door, because Bailey, our St. Bernard, sleeps in the bathroom, and that's where he lays. He lays right by the door. If the laundry cart isn't in there, he sleeps in that little corner. Like, for a 150-pound dog, he always wants to be like in a very tight, small space. But if the laundry cart's there, he sleeps right by the door. So that part of the floor always gets so dirty. And even on this day, literally not a couple hours after I got done mopping, and you'll see me mopping it and see how dirty it is over there. It was dirty again because he was sleeping in there once again. So yeah, I hope you can see how like, oh yeah, you can definitely see how dirty that floor gets. It gets so bad, but it's one of those things of, it's a sacrifice willing to make to have our animals. I guess that's something with having pets and kids. You just realize there's certain things that are going to be regular tasks that you have to keep up on, and this is one of mine. Also, if you're ever wondering the noise in the background, that is Freya. She's actually currently playing Ring Around the Rosie with one of our 3 elves, because she doesn't quite get that you're not supposed to touch the elves. So she's currently playing with one of them right now. Do you want to say hello?
Hello?
Good. Can you say hi?
Hi.
So yes, anytime you hear Little Miss in the background, that is what's going on.
Play hard to get through. I'm not gonna say I'm loving you too. I'm not gonna stay, gotta be alone. Let's talk, meet me at the avenue. I don't need nobody.
So Bobby actually just put in a doggy door outside in the pool area. Oh, that has been so nice. Mainly at night, like the dogs are extra antsy before bed. So having the doggy door has been amazing. I did have someone ask if critters can just come in through the doggy door, and I guess technically they could, but they're only going into our pool area. It's not a doggy door to the house. So what we normally do is the door in our bedroom right here by the window, that goes out to our pool area. And then they have a doggy door from the pool area to the side yard where they can, use the bathroom and whatnot. But it does have a locking mechanism. We haven't attached that. Just really haven't seen the need. We just wanted to make it easier that we could let the dogs out. For a while, we had them go to the opposite side of the yard, but once we got the fence in, we made it the other side was their side. That way the kids had a whole side of the yard that there was no issues with dog stuff and whatnot. Also, this kettle, I get a lot of questions. I found this on Amazon. I love it. Like, boiling water is so much easier. If it's for hot chocolate, tea, cleaning, whatever, it boils so quickly. So I am just using my ride or die method when it comes to my floor cleaning. I also use this as a multi-purpose cleaner if you watch my Helping Hand series. But I will just do Tide and pine salt. I love the smell of pine salt. And then I put the boiling water in there to dissolve the mixture, but then I will just put regular hot water in. The hot water, like I said, is purely just to help with dissolving the mixture right away. But this always works so well. Plus, like I said, I just love the smell. It's one of my favorite smells. So the other question I got asked was if I have tried the new O-Cedar mop. I haven't, and it's because I've gotten so many like mixed reviews on it. A lot of people saying that it's kind of more of a pain to use it. And I don't like anything that is a pain to use. Like, I don't love cleaning in the first place. So if you're making my job like even the slightest bit more inconvenient, I don't enjoy that. Like, I'm always looking for simple ways to maintain a clean house without having to go above and beyond. Like, there's so much to get done without adding to it. So I'm still tempted to try it, but I don't know. If you guys have tried it, let me know, because I've heard mixed reviews and I love my O-Cedar mop. Like, this O-Cedar mop, I absolutely love. I like that it has the rinsing capability. The mop head is really sturdy, which on a lot of other mops, that's usually my issue, is that they're like flimsy and I don't feel like they're actually work well to scrub and stuff. But I've never had that issue with this, and I love that I have like, I think I have either 6 or 8 different mop heads. So I always have a clean mop head. I can go from one room to the next room and changing out my mop heads and never have to worry about it. And that to me is a huge win, because just having one mop head is just not realistic. You are going to notice in today's video that I show water dumps a lot, because I am trying to keep up with keeping the water clean when I go room to mop. Plus, you guys are seeing this in like straightforward 30 minutes, but that's not how this day went. Like, I cleaned a little bit and then had to make breakfast and take the kids to school and then pick kids up from school, make lunch. Like, there's a whole mix of mom stuff going on in between all of this. So it wasn't all done in just like, I'm going to take 3 hours and just bust out my whole house. I can never do that. Like, I never have a full hour to myself to just knock stuff out. I'm lucky if I can get 30 minutes to get a bunch done, which is why I always recommend people clean in 10 to 30 minute increments. Like, don't stress yourself out about having to get everything done. I promise, if you set a 10-minute timer and focus on one room, don't focus on like the entire house, focus on one room, 10 minutes, you're going to be shocked at how much you can get done in 10 minutes. Especially if you're a mom and you're already used to multitasking, like 10 minutes is so helpful. So I often do like 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, another 30 minutes at night, and then obviously little 10-minute tidies throughout the rest of the day. It is never just, like I said, a straightforward getting everything done. That's why with my new Helping Hand series, like, I can get so much done in a couple of hours, and it's because I literally have no distraction. I'm going to someone else's house, so I am not emotionally attached to the location. And then I don't have my kids. I don't have the kids and Bobby and the dogs and everyone else pulling for my attention, and makes life so much easier.
I know it for sure. Just thought I should let you know.
So I got a comment the other day mentioning about like food scraps in the sink. And I wanted to mention this because I related so much with your comment saying you hate the food scraps in the sink. I am with you 110%. I hate that. It is my least favorite thing to have to clean is when people have just put their dirty dishes in the sink without like scraping and rinsing. I am trying so hard to get the kids, like, even if they're like making eggs, like, okay, put it down the garbage disposal. Don't just throw your eggshells in the sink. So you are not alone. I am trying to get much better at letting go and teach my kids how to do stuff on their own and not like leave it all up to mom. One, for themselves, because they need to know that like they can't just throw stuff everywhere and I will just pick it up for them. And two, for my own mental health, because I have definitely been getting to a point where there's days that I'm just like, I feel like I'm doing it all by myself and like I need some help. Like my kids are getting older, so they've got a lot more stuff going on. And it's just a lot. So I'm trying to let go and not stress so much about them not doing it exactly the way I would want and just be proud of them taking the effort. They're still learning, and I definitely still have to remind them on the daily how to do things the way I would like, but they are getting better. And I'm trying to just appreciate the fact that they are learning, and I have to remind them, but there's still going to be things that I like despise that they do. But it is getting better, and I am appreciative of that as a mom. My goal in life is to make sure that I am raising respectful and self-sufficient children, respectful young men that aren't going to rely on their wife like she is their mother, and a daughter that realizes it's not only up to the women to take care of the house. So sometimes I have to take a step back because it's really hard for me not to just take control and do it myself and do it the way I want to. But I know in the end, I'm teaching my kids how to be good people. Oh, I know for some people they're like, oh, this is like, that doesn't make sense. It's not that big of a deal. But like for me, it's a really big deal that I teach my kids certain things, even if I may not love the way it's being done at the moment. I know in the long run, it'll be a good thing. Teaching them to cook, teaching them to clean, teaching them just how to not be reliant on someone else to take care of them. Not only will they live a better life with that, but I know whoever they end up with in the future will hopefully appreciate my hard work as well.
Looking like a breeze, but really you're a forest fire. Don't know what we have to do, but someone's gotta change. You got issues that makes two of us, but someone's gotta change. If we never ever met before, if I never opened up my door, yeah, 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 yeah. If we never ever got to start.
So if you are in the market for new floors, the floors in the bedrooms we did not replace when we moved in because they were semi-new. I don't love the gray tone on them, but that would have been literally double what we spent to have the floors done. To also do the bedrooms would have been double, and that just was not in our budget for floors that were completely okay. But if you are in the market for new floors, so I cannot remember the name of these floors and it drives me crazy, but I found them at Floor & Decor and I love them. Like, absolutely love them. If you guys have been with my channel since before I moved to Florida, you know our old house had dark floors, which were beautiful when they are clean. But it's kind of like a black car. It's beautiful right after it's been detailed, and 2 seconds later, it's not. Like, you can see all the dirt and everything. These floors are beautiful, They clean really well, but I also love that they don't show every speck of dirt. Like you can see from this water dump, like the floors were really dirty. Like I said, we've been having wet, gloomy weather here, but they didn't look horrendous. And I like pride myself on trying to maintain a clean house, but life, like it is what it is. Stuff is going to get dirty. So if you guys are in the market for new floors, I highly recommend looking for like a mid-tone color floor because these are amazing. I love that I can, like, if the dogs come inside with paws that are slightly dirty, I'm not going to see paw prints right away. I don't see hairballs all the time, and with a Siberian Husky and a St. Bernard, like, we have hair all the time. So highly, highly recommend these types of floors over any type of dark flooring. Like I said, I love my dark flooring. They were absolutely gorgeous. I just don't think they are practical for family with pets and young children that you have to maintain it. Maybe if it was just Bobby and I, it would be completely different because 2 adults maintaining clean floors is definitely a lot easier than when you have pets and kids. That's for sure.
Just like that. Forever's never gone so fast. Just like that, just like that. Forever's never gone so fast. Oh, would you call me on my sins? You think that you're under my skin.
So this is we call it our sunroom / dog room. And we say that because when we leave, this is the room that the dogs stay in. If you guys know anything about huskies can be destructive if left alone, and they feel, they can like have anxiety issues, and Drake is definitely one of those dogs. So having him either kenneled or just in a separate room of the house, he always does a lot better. But with that, these floors have their food in there. Obviously, the kids come in and out from the pool area and in and out from the backyard, and it gets really dirty in here. Grass clippings, sand, dog food, because I don't know what it is about my dogs, but they are the messiest eaters of all time. You're going to see that here in a minute. Like, I swear half their food ends up on the floor instead of in their stomachs. But I enjoy having this room because it's like a buffer before all that dirt and stuff can come into the actual house. This was an extension. So this would have been just like a screened in sunroom before they added the walls and doors and windows. So I enjoy it because it is that separation before hitting the main part of the house. But at the same time, like, the floors just get so dirty. And yes, I do just vacuum up the dog food. Once it's been on the floor with all the dust and hair and everything, like, I could sweep it up, but then I'm just putting dirt and everything into their dog bowls and their food bowls, and I'm not going to do that. So I always just vacuum it up and toss it because, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be eating off of the floor, especially out here with the type of room this is. So I feel like I don't want to give it back to my dogs afterwards. I don't know. That's probably a little much on my end, but I just feel more comfortable just vacuuming it up and throwing it away.
And I just wanna help. I don't know how to make it clearer, but they say
I will say, though, I do enjoy watching these floors get mopped because they do get so dirty that it's, like, really satisfying to see them get as clean as they do. We will be replacing these floors, though, eventually. They're just like these peel and stick tiles, which is totally fine, except that they get slick. So with it being right off of the pool area, I don't love them. So eventually I do want to put in tile similar to what's in our bedroom Maybe not so much the look, not bedroom, bathroom, but the texture, that like leathery, there's a grip to it. That way, don't need to worry about someone running in and conking their heads, because as much as you tell the kids not to run around the pool area and inside when they're wet, they're kids and they do it anyway, and they end up bonking their heads. So I do want to replace it. Luckily for us, we do have that really big rug right by the slider, and then the rug by the couches. So it's not as bad as when we first moved in and we didn't have any rugs in there, and it was constantly getting super, super slick in there. But I still want to replace those floors eventually. Just for safety reasons. It's not the best floor choice for that location, even though, like I said, it's beautiful looking floor. There's nothing wrong with the peel and stick tile. I just don't like it off of the pool area. These nutcrackers were so dusty. Part of it is I didn't really give them a good wipe down when I brought them inside when I decorated for Christmas. And then just being in the house, things get dusty super easily because of the animals. So I, for days, had seen mainly his feet, where I'm like, oh, they're so dusty, I need to get them clean. And hadn't gotten to it. Finally, I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I dust these nutcrackers, because they should be cleaner than what they are. So I quickly went in and did that. And then obviously I'm going around and cleaning up the family room. This is something that happens about 50 million times a day, where I'm putting toys away, folding blankets. Now, the blankets are not just the kids, though. I am personally someone, and let me know if you are as well, like, I cannot sit down on my couch without a blanket. It doesn't matter if it is 150 degrees outside. I need to have a blanket on my lap. It is a comfort thing. It is, I don't know. It's something, but I always have a blanket on my lap. And my kids have just taken out after me, and they do the same thing. Like, if they are on the couch, they will have a blanket no matter what. Here I'm putting, this is Bjorn's. I often get questioned about this little penguin. That is Bjorn's nebulizer. Unfortunately, he had gotten like a cold or something this past week. And with that, whenever he gets sick, it flares up his asthma and his eczema and everything, which was really a bummer, because he has done so well since moving to Florida. Like, pretty much no issues with his asthma other than very rare occasions. His eczema was almost completely cleared up because he does really well in humid air. And then he got sick and it all flared up. So he is getting better. So hopefully it comes down. Unfortunately, though, often after getting sick or anything like that, it can be anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks till his asthma and eczema get back under control. So prayers for him that things get better.
Get next to me, get next to me. All that I want is to get next to you, get next to you. Not asking for much, but it feels like the two of us are golden or gorgeous. We'll do you good, so take a chance on me. It's magical when you are close, so get closer, babe. We'll do you good, 'cause I am golden.
Like I said before, mopping the pretty much entire house is always a workout. I normally don't do it this way because it's a lot of work to, one, get the house clean enough that you can pull out the vacuum and mop and everything, but two, it takes a lot of time to get all this done. But this was a day that, like I said, with the rain and everything, it desperately needed it. And we're going to be having company coming over within a couple weeks. So trying to maintain that really clean house, that way when people come over, I'm not stressing out about it, is something that I am trying to keep up with. Just get everything done. And if I have a good deep clean done, then I don't need to worry about doing a major deep clean as often. It will be more of a maintenance thing, which is always a lot more helpful when I'm worrying about what we're doing for Christmas, food-wise, and making sure all the gifts are wrapped and everything. Because for the most part, I am done shopping, thankfully, but I haven't wrapped a single thing yet. I am the type that normally waits last minute to wrap, which probably isn't the best idea, but it's what I do. But then just finishing up little girl's room, we did get her a new rug. Bailey had an accident in her room. And I say accident, but I feel like this was done on purpose, that little butthole. And not only peed on her rug, but also peed on her new Christmas tree. So it was a pink flocked tree. I was not going to try and figure out how to clean a pink flocked tree. So we had to get rid of that. And then I got rid of the rug and we got her a new rug. This rug is smaller and machine washable. So I figured it will be better in her room anyway because she's a little kid that's always making a mess. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe. Join me and my family. I do mainly cleaning motivation. I do have my new Hoarders Helping Hand series, which if you don't know what that is, I had a series back in 2019. That was my Hoarder series. I have revamped that into just a Helping Hand series, and I'm sharing that, trying to share it weekly. We'll see how well that goes. I've been working really hard on this series, and it's a huge passion of mine. But yeah, I would love if you guys would like, subscribe, comment, all the things, but I'll see you next time. Bye.
You're keeping me on. Yeah, I'm strapped in, stuck in a song you can't turn off. Like a merry-go-round, my head is spinning. I see you rapping about.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. Hopefully you guys all had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Today we are doing a whole house clean with me, just getting everything back in order. You guys know how it goes. Life gets crazy. Having family over and everything like that, so everything just needed a really good cleaning. I do also want to give a big thanks to June's Journey for sponsoring today's video.
It's like time's been frozen still. Had nowhere to stop. We were so young. Now you're long gone.
So we have had our new mattress for about 2 weeks now, and I have to say we are loving it so far. It's still so hard to say, like, we've only had it for 2 weeks, so I feel like you really got to give it time, but as of now, it has been really nice, really comfortable. Bobby and I have both really been happy with it, so I am really glad about that. I wanted to share that because I know a lot of people have been asking what I thought about the mattress, and I didn't want to talk too much about it before actually, like, having some time sleeping on it. Oh, I was sharing this. This is a room spray that I found at Home Goods. I don't normally just randomly buy their room sprays and stuff, but Bobby loves that, like, pine smell around the holidays, and I saw this and it smells amazing. So if you see this at your Home Goods, definitely check it out because it is really nice, and it's not overwhelming. Some of those sprays can be like super artificial or just like overpowering. This one I felt like was delicate enough but still gave you that holiday vibe.
The radio, I remember it's like time's been frozen still. Had nowhere to stop. We were so young. Now you're long gone.
So I am just going in. I wanted to give our bedroom floors a little bit more of a deep cleaning. So when I do this, I like to mop with my mop vacuum first. This picks up a lot of the dog hair, as well as mopping at the same time. I like it because it gets that like top layer of dirt off, instead of like filling your mop bucket twice. This kind of kills two birds with one stone of doing a quick mop, This is also my everyday mop. This is like what I do to keep up with the floors. But after this, I did also go in with my actual mop. I feel like that always makes a big difference. Like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love these things. I think everyone should have a mop vacuum in their house, especially if you have a lot of hard floors. But I don't think it replaces the traditional mop and bucket. But you'll see, so much dirt and hair gets picked up from this thing. It always is a really good cleaning for like everyday cleaning. And then a really good like step one when you want to deep clean your floors. Now for mopping the floors, I boil some water, loving this kettle since getting it. I only do a kettle worth though, and then I add a little bit of Tide, and I'll use Fabuloso or Pine Sol, really whatever I'm feeling that day. But then I just fill it up with warm water. A lot of people freak out like really hot water isn't good for your floors. This is purely just the initial to get the Dawn to really dissolve. That way you don't have that grittiness. But the other thing I love about my old cedar is like over there I noticed that the baseboards were getting really dirty, and I just did a quick like wipe down of them. Now is it as good as getting down on my hands and knees? No, absolutely not. But it does the trick.
Feel like everything's alright. Let's dance our problems away in the night. Love being right next to you. You'll be on the
Cause I'm better, but baby, you're not. Giving you up, no, I ain't giving you up. I got love and try, giving you up, no, I ain't giving you up. I got love and try, giving you up, no, I ain't giving you up, no. Giving you up, no, I ain't giving you up, no. She's a roller coaster, oh, she's so sick. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her, she can't be tamed. I'm so in love with her, I fall and try again.
So I have decided I need to start investing in my wardrobe again, mainly leggings. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not going all fancy. I'm going to be buying leggings because leggings are what I am comfortable in. But I have gotten to a point where like all of my leggings have something on them. If it's paint or mortar or grout or something from working in this house, that it is time to invest in new leggings. I thought about that in today's video because there is different white spots on my leggings from when I did the kitchen, and I don't know if it's grout or mortar on them, but most of my leggings have stuff on them. But I've been waiting because we've been doing so much in this house. I did not want to like invest in getting new stuff while we were still doing so much, because I was wearing clothes like this every single day to work in the house. But I think we're finally far enough along that I can take that time to invest in a new wardrobe. So I'm definitely going to be looking into getting some new leggings, probably a couple new shirts and things like that. Now that the real dirty part of this house renovation is done and we can start like winding down a little bit, I am still going to keep my leggings that are kind of messed up though, because I do want to start my Hoarders series again. I am currently in the process of working with finding houses and everything. So I don't know exactly when it's going to start up again, but just know I am trying to build on my connections and figure stuff out. I've actually been talking to my parents down here as well as our realtor that we hired, just trying to, I don't have the same connections like I did in Wisconsin, so trying to build those connections, which can be a little harder than some would think because you have to vet people. Like, I can't just take anybody and go into their house and clean it for them because that's not safe. So I will be obviously saving some of my clothes for situations like that. But I'm excited about starting that up again. I've wanted to do it for so long. You guys know I stopped when I got pregnant with Freya. I was just, that first trimester is always really tiring for me, and then COVID hit, and then life just got crazy with moving and everything. But I finally feel like now I am at a point where we can definitely start that up again. But once I was done in the bedroom, I just wanted to have our Roborock go into the bedroom and do a final vacuum. I love that I can set this up just by room. So I just had it go into the bedroom and the bathroom. That way, even though I vacuumed and mopped and everything, this is going to go under the vanity, under the bed, and it just, I don't know. I feel like it's a really thorough cleaning when I'm all done, and then this goes in. Plus, you get those really great vacuum lines that a normal human just can't do like the vacuum can.
Did you hear something from the chimney? A little grin. We will be alright. This holiday will open our minds.
So I started adding shorts to my channel. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I just started. So it is very new. I am starting them because there's certain questions I get asked on a regular basis, and I've shown them in videos before, but it's a question that I always get asked. So one of them being like how I do my toilet paper flowers. I've been asked that a lot recently, and I feel like these shorts are going to, one, it's great for those like real quick motivations, but also to share the stuff that people have questions about. So I'm going to do it on usually most asked questions. So probably products I enjoy, a quick burst cleaning motivation, how I clean my vacuum, how I clean my dishwasher, things like that that people always want to ask. And instead of having you have to watch an entire 30-minute or so video, I can send you straight to my shorts page and you'll be able to just watch something a minute or less and get the answer right there. I feel like it's going to be a very useful tool for you guys, a very useful tool for me, because I don't always remember what videos I do that for, or like what videos I did that for. But right now I am filling my sink with hot water, Tide, and the Pine Sol, because I really just wanted to give the kitchen a good, thorough cleaning. The cabinets haven't been thoroughly washed since we put them in. So I just wanted to go over everything. And this is just a great way. This is a multi-purpose cleaner that works really, really well. And then once the sink is dirty, I rinse it and refill it. So I always enjoy doing it this way. Plus, there's something, Tide and Pine Sol lately has been one of my favorite combinations. Just the smell it gives off in the house, it just makes me think clean, and that's always my goal. Like, I enjoy fragrances when cleaning. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't handle too much fragrance. I enjoy that while cleaning. It just makes me feel like I did my job and I did it thoroughly. And this combo has been like my go-to for a couple of weeks now.
It's promised for this day.
Oh, I did get questions about our hood vent. So we got a hood vent that can be used one of two ways, either with a charcoal filter or it can be vented to outside. So currently we are just using it with a charcoal filter because we wanted to see how that would work first. But we do have the venting in the attic if we wanted to just pop a hole in the ceiling and connect it that way. We're waiting and seeing because Bobby would have to go into the attic, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do. But yes, I know a lot of you guys realized we didn't do that when we put the hood vent in, and that's because it does have where you can use it vented outside or with a charcoal filter, and we're just trying out the charcoal filter first just to make Bobby's life a little bit easier if he doesn't have to go out or up into the attic to do it. It's just a lot better on him. Our attic's very small, so like the very first time he had to go up into the attic to get up stuff, he ended up tweaking his back. So he will do it if needed, but if we can avoid him going up there and possibly hurting himself, we're definitely trying to do that. Now just going in and giving the top of the stove a good cleaning. I kept seeing this cleaner on TikTok, and you know, it's not bad, but I don't know if it's any better than just using Barkeeper's Friend. But I always like trying out new things, especially when I'm like getting sick of cleaning. Whenever I'm like, ugh, I don't want to clean. If I buy a new product, it gives me motivation to do it just because I want to try out the new product. So definitely worked, but I don't know if I would personally change what I traditionally buy just for my stovetop here. And what I bought this time did say was for specifically stovetops, where my Barkeeper Friends I use on stuff all over the house all the time. But I did get these Scrub Daddy. What are they? Score Daddies, I think they are. They're a rougher version of the Scrub Daddies. These do work really well. They definitely have more grit and scrub power than your traditional Scrub Daddy or Scrub Mommy.
Understand that we get one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night.
Here you can see just from that little bit of cleaning how dirty the sink water got. So I had to empty it and refill it so I could keep going. This is just the upper cabinets and the counters and stuff. So definitely on camera, the cabinets don't look nearly as dirty as they actually are in real life. And that's why I often like sharing like the dirty water dumps, because cameras can be very forgiving, which in some situations are awesome. But in my situation, when I'm trying to show you cleaning my house, isn't always the best thing, because then you guys just think I'm cleaning a clean house, and that is not the case. But I just refilled it so I could finish on the lower cabinets. This was a project that I was dreading, but once I was done, I felt so good about it. Also, by the way, IKEA cabinets are the my favorite cabinets to clean. This as of lately, they clean so well. Whatever coating is on the outside of their cabinets, it is amazing to clean off. Everything cleans so easily. Always looks so good. There were very few areas that I had to scrub a little bit, and I think it's because Freya got marker on it. So another bonus to these IKEA cabinets. However, I will say I really wish when we put in this island that we would have thought a little bit more ahead and ran power before we put in the floors into the island. Something that you definitely learn as you go. Nothing you do is ever going to be 100% perfect. But the nice thing is, in the future, if we ever do a kitchen renovation again, I've learned, and I know now, make sure to run power into your island, because you don't realize how much you use it until you don't have it.
Darkness flies, and all is light. Shepherds hear the angels sing.
I did bring out my vacuum real quick to vacuum just right next to the island, because cleaning off the kids' chairs got crumbs all over the place. And before I was going to be climbing or crawling all over the floors, I wanted to clean up at least the majority of the crumbs just to make life a little bit easier, especially under little Mrs. chair. Her chair is always full of food. So it just makes life a lot easier, like I said, before crawling all over the floors, to do a quick vacuum on them. That way I'm not sliding stuff all over the place. Can you guys believe that we are almost in December? Like, I feel like beginning of this year went so slow. Actually, most of this year I feel like went pretty slow until like October. October came and now I feel like the year has flown by and we are almost into the Christmas season. Let me know if you are done Christmas shopping. I know a lot of people like Christmas shop throughout the year, and I always want to be that person. And there's times that I'll buy like a gift here and there, but I never get it all done. And often I am still shopping till like the week before Christmas. So let me know if you guys are one of those that are last minute shoppers or if you guys are done. My mom, I think, used to be the person that would be done like super early. But not me. I always procrastinate probably a little bit too much. But awesome thing is we now also have Amazon, which makes life so much easier. I had my kids make Amazon wish lists. I actually talked to my sisters and brothers also about having their kids make Amazon wish lists just to make this year a lot easier, especially with being out of state people. It's always easier to just go off their list and have it sent as a gift than trying to mail something. It definitely is something that we are spoiled as a society to now have Amazon, but I am not hating on it at all.
Diamonds blingin', carols singing, favorite season, sleigh bells ringing. Diamonds blingin', carols singing, favorite season. They said, "Say Nick, what you got up in that bag?" Yeah, I got racks in my sack or in my bag. Yeah, they said, "Say Nick, what you got up in that bag?" Yeah, I got racks in my sack or in my bag. Yeah, frozen, neck is frozen. Catch me rolling, I'm the chosen. Snow is falling. Elfie's calling.
Oh, and if you're wondering what I was doing with my stainless steel, so I like to clean my stainless first with like an actual cleaner to get any greasy fingerprints off, any food splats off, anything like that. And then I spray it with my stainless steel cleaner and I let it sit for a little bit. That way it actually like absorbs into the stainless before buffing it clean. I know a lot of people have a hard time with stainless cleaners. And the biggest thing is, one, don't use too much. It's very easy to overuse your stainless. And two, just keep buffing. It's like a car. If you keep buffing, it's going to all come off. You may have to change your rag if it gets oversaturated, but you don't want to see any streaks when you're buffing. You want to make sure to get it all off and just really let it absorb into your stainless.
Need no Grinch ties, no Ebenezer. Don't believe this. Y'all need Jesus. Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season. Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season. They said, "Say Nick, what you got up in that bag?" Yeah.
Second water dump wasn't nearly as bad, but you can still see that it was pretty dirty, especially since I feel like I cleaned a lot less this second go around. It was just the lower cabinets and the appliances, but still pretty dirty, even though it was a little bit of a smaller area. And then I'm just going in with the mop vacuum. I never mop my entire house in one day. Like, I have, but it's not something I enjoy doing. So, like, on this day, I did a really good deep mop in my bedroom, but the rest of the house is just getting the mop vacuum. It's a lot easier. And then maybe another day I'll do just the kitchen, just the family room. But to mop your entire house when you are cleaning your entire house can be exhausting. So I like to split it up. Like I said, I have done it, especially if we're having guests over like that day. And I'm like, okay, we have to like quickly clean the entire house top to bottom, get it perfect. But on a regular week, I normally just do like a room here, a room there, and as needed. Try not to exhaust myself. Also, I still need to paint this hallway and put in baseboards. There's so many nitpicky things around this house I still need to do. and just haven't gotten to yet. So yes, my baseboards in that hallway and in the hallway going to the kids' bedrooms aren't done yet, but it is on my list. My never-ending list of things that still need to be done in this house.
Don't you think that the holiday should be all about love? Mulled wine by the fire.
Now just moving on into the sunroom. I am cleaning off the sliding glass door, which is always dirty. This is one of those projects that I should probably do more often, but it is like after I clean it, it's dirty again. So I always like need to talk myself into doing it because it's really hard to do some projects when you know it almost feels like it's a waste of your time, but it's not a waste of your time because if you didn't do it at all, it would be absolutely disgusting. So it's worth your time, but it can still feel not worth your time, if you guys know what I mean. But it needed to get done. I actually need to go in and like clean the surround of these sliders really, really well. Like barkeeper's friend, scrub them. I have not done that yet since moving in here, and there's definitely some dirt buildup on the like where the handles are, the tracks, things like that. So that is another thing on my cleaning list. Those are all projects that I knew needed to get done when we moved into this house, but they were low on the list of things to do with all the remodeling. Now that I'm doing more on focusing on deep cleaning, though, a lot of those lists are going to be getting done. That way, I can just feel a little bit more at peace with things like that. But yeah, they definitely need some work, and I will be sharing that. Barkeeper's friends, when you have like really built on grime on things like door handles or sliders and stuff, is amazing. And I can't wait to show you how well that works in a future video.
My Christmas, our Christmas. Why don't we make your Christmas my Christmas, our Christmas? Why don't we now? Why don't we?
Also, we always talk about Freya being my little shadow in these videos, but the dogs are too. Like you can see, Drake is constantly watching what I am doing. Also, I'm pretty sure Bobby was at a doctor's appointment at this time. If Bobby's home, they may not be as much like on me. They'll go by him and make him cuddle them. But if Bobby is not home, they are definitely a shadow, always in the background. Even if you don't see them, they are definitely around. Oh, and talking about Bobby being around and stuff. So we recently just replaced the lights on the front of the house. We were wanting to replace those for a while, so we did that. And then also the light pole in the front of the house. We didn't film that, but it did recently get done. So that was another thing that was another project on our list that we have crossed off. I think these nitpicky projects are almost harder than the major renovations.
With your body, we can never go back this road. We can never go back that way. I see you standing in the corner like it's okay. Don't you know that you move with your body? Don't you know that you move with your body? When you're moving your feet on the dance floor, and you don't care a thing about a word they say. That's how we play. That's how we.
And then I'm just going around with that same spray I showed you in our bedroom. I use this, almost in every room. I really liked the way this smelled. Also, I love the way the Christmas Village turned out this year. And I don't know what I'm going to do next year when we have the built-ins, because I kind of still want to have it on this window. I absolutely love the way it looks on this window. You can see it from everywhere in the house, but it's just I don't know what it is about it. We will see next year. Obviously, things could change, but I'm really, really happy that I did it over here, especially since the house with the flying Santa actually makes music. So I can have that playing, and it's just kind of like a nice background ambiance of Christmas without being overpowering.
All night long, we got it going, and the dance goes on. We got it going.
Now on to the rest of the house. All right, gotta do the little foot kick. Are you really a mom if you don't pick stuff up with your toes? Okay, you probably are, and I'm just weird. But I was just tidying up. Nothing too crazy. This is just the regular, you do it, it's a mess 2 minutes later, but needs to get done to stay on top of it. Big thing is, though, I needed to clean off the cushions. This I try to do every day, every other day, just kind of as needed because sticky fingers and dogs and stuff like that. Plus, leather is one of those things that I hate saying this sometimes, but it's skin. Like, that is what leather is. So keeping it conditioned is so important. But here you can see just probably chocolate from Freya or Bjorn or Xander. I don't know. But just getting in and making sure that the leather is staying cleaned and conditioned, and whatever the kids get in on it is cleaned off. Luckily, though, this is a lot easier to clean than the upholstered furniture that I used to have, and having to drag out my entire carpet cleaner. So that is a big bonus to the leather, is maintenance on them is so much less. But they're still really, really comfortable. I am still absolutely thrilled that we went with leather over fabric upholstered furniture in this house. And then I'm just finishing up giving the entire house a quick mop vacuum. Now, one thing you didn't see on here is once I was all done with this, I had the Roborock go and once again do a vacuum of the entire main living area. That way it got under the furniture and everything like that. Like I said, I love having that go after I have finished cleaning because I feel like it gives that final touch of a clean space. So I always enjoy letting that go one last time. Plus, it never hurts. Like with the dogs, they look at the floor and there's dog hair on it, so it never hurts to let it go and finish going around. But the biggest thing is getting under the furniture instead of constantly having to move the furniture. Just letting that go and maintain makes life so much easier.
It started out like a movie scene, something straight out of a magazine. I crossed my fingers.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Cambria. Today's video is a little bit of everything. It's literally just a full day of cleaning. I'm sharing a recipe with you today. I had to give my plants a haircut. If you've been with my channel for a while, you guys know I am not very plant friendly, or I haven't been in the past. I'm really, really trying to be a good plant mama. And luckily, I have a nephew that is very plant savvy. So I gave him a call the other day and was like, what do I do? My plants are looking sad. And he gave me all the advice. So I was getting to it today to make sure all my plants were happy and healthy looking. But if you guys are ready for some real mom life motivation, some extreme cleaning motivation, stay tuned because we have everything going on in today's video. And we're just starting off in the kitchen.
Purpose, now I'm on my feet. I'm dancing to the pounding of your heartbeat. Your eyes sing the sweetest melody. Don't care about no gold, no one else to hit my phone up. None of that pretentious life. No, 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 don't need no pills to get high. There's no doubt in my mind. Your love, it is all that I need.
So before we moved to Florida, I used to almost always start in our bedroom because Bobby worked early mornings back in Wisconsin. And I'd get up early enough with the kids, but it was always after he went to work for the day. However, since we have moved, if you guys are new here, my husband retired from the military. He was Army National Guard. So he did have a civilian job, but after retiring, he is now on military disability and everything. So he is home helping me around the house, which has been amazing for him to have just like early retirement. But he sleeps in later than I do. I'm usually the one that gets up with the kids and everything, which is fine with me because he is much more like awake at night where I'm better in the morning. So I will normally take the kids to school and then come home and just tidy up the main living area before he gets up and then go into our bedroom and tidy that up as well.
'Cause I just wanna make you feel what I do about you. So just tell me how and I'll do it, babe. I love it when you whisper in my ear, words only meant for me to hear. Promise that your secret's safe with me. You're the only reason, yes, you're the only reason. Baby, you're the answer to my prayers. Feeling like the world's in our hands. Now I know.
So I actually love this setup of when I get up in the morning with the kids and everything. Now, it's not every morning. There has definitely been some mornings where I'm like, babe, you got to take the kids to school. I am just exhausted, and he'll get up and do it, no problem. But I actually enjoy getting up in the morning, taking the boys to school. Freya sleeps in. Like, she is someone that will sleep till like 9, which is great because I'll take the kids to school, I'll get a coffee, and then I get a good like 30 minutes to an hour where I can just sit on the couch and wake up myself slowly instead of like rushing throughout the day. So my mornings are more of my me time. The house is quiet. I don't have anyone asking for help or with anything. I can just kind of sit, enjoy my coffee, and chill. Where Bobby's better at, if Freya wakes up in the middle of the night, often, like I said, he's up late. So if she wakes up at 1 a.m., he's probably still up and he takes care of her. So it really works out well. I am normally someone that will be in bed normally by 8, 9 o'clock and asleep by 10 or 11.
Yes, you're the only reason. Baby, you're the answer to my prayers. Feeling like the world's in our hands. Now I know that this is meant to be. You're the only reason. Yes, you're the only reason I am
So I am the type that I love ceiling fans. I know some people like don't like the look of ceiling fans. However, I need that like air flowing in the house all the time. But the other day I turned our ceiling fan off in our bedroom, and you can't even tell in this footage how dirty it was, but you don't even notice when the fans are just like constantly going. You don't realize the amount of dust that builds up on them. It was so bad. And our room like is usually the one that gets extra dusty. The dogs sleep in the room with us, and I think that is the reason for it, because the rest of the house does not get nearly as dusty as our bedroom, but between the dog hair and everything, our room always has so much dust on it. Actually, you'll see here in a second when I dust this console table. The other thing is, like, on video, it can very much look like I'm cleaning something that is already clean. So I try and show some close-ups in today's video because it can be so deceiving. And I noticed that the other day when I was filming and editing, I was like, oh, you can't even tell how dirty this stuff was, because we're a family of 5. We have 2 large dogs. Like, our house gets dirty quickly. Like, it does not matter that I clean on a daily basis. Like, it just gets dusty, and you often can't even tell the amount of dust. So here you're gonna see just how dusty and hairy this console table was. So I know I've been talking about this a lot because I've been super excited, but when you guys are seeing this video, our counters have been put in. Hopefully, I say that we have it scheduled, so they should be in by the time you're seeing this video. So I'm hoping next week, probably Friday, that you're going to see the whole kitchen come together. Once the counters go in, I want to do the backsplash, and then I can decorate, hood vent, all of those things. So I'm making sure to give myself enough time to get it all done, especially the backsplash. I want to make sure looks perfect. I can't wait for you guys to see it all pulled together. I am so excited for that project to be done. I feel like the main living area, once the kitchen is done, like, feels complete. Like, there's still stuff we need to do, but it's not like such a rush to have it done. And I finally feel like I can start planning and decorating for Christmas with all of that done. Oh, and so I asked you guys a couple videos back about my Shark vacuum, the head not working correctly and everything. I did decide to reach out to Shark. I have always been really happy with Shark, so I really do think it was a fluke that this one started acting up. And I have to say, I have never dealt with their customer service before until today, and I was very happy. They did tell me that the head that was broken wasn't under warranty, but considering I had just gotten it in July, they are sending me a new head, so I'm still using this one. The hard thing is when that front roller doesn't work, it doesn't work well on hard floors at all. It just flings stuff around, it gets in the way. So I've been just using it on my rugs and then using this vacuum mop on the hard floors to keep up with everything. Plus we have the robot vacuum that helps with keeping up with the dog hair. But I was very happy with the customer service that Shark was giving me. I was not sure how well that would go, but I'm glad that I decided to give them a call and give this vacuum a second chance. Like I said, when I first got it, I was very happy with it. It wasn't till that roller stopped working. So I think once we get a new roller, we should be all good to go.
What will it be of us? Now you're saying you care.
These drains are so easy to clean. I've been really happy about being able to clean these out. However, I was surprised that Bobby's was actually dirtier than mine. Like, I know he shaves on this side of the sink, but I assumed, like, my long hair, and I shed ridiculously, that I would have more hair down mine. His beard hair is definitely just as bad as mine, and he has no excuse to blame it on me anymore because he's got his own sink. But you here again, you can see how dirty the sink area was. These counters are kind of great because they hide a lot of the dust and dirt, but it's also can be not good thing if you haven't cleaned in a little bit because you just don't even notice how dirty it is. But today was the day that I wanted to really deep clean my shower. I try and do a little spray and wipe down every time I shower, but like this shelf right here, I don't remove things on a regular basis. Here you can see I shed ridiculously, so I always have like clumps of hair in the shower non-stop. So I'm just going in with the OxiClean foam cleaner. This is not stuff I like to use all the time. It is a little bit more of a harsh chemical, but when I want to do a really deep cleaning, this stuff works amazing. Now, a little trick for you guys, I will go in for like the corners and stuff with my rag, but I like in this shower, especially with it being so large, to actually use a clean mop head on my old cedar mop and scrub it down with that. Makes my life so much easier, especially since honestly, I can't even reach to the top of this shower. So that extension pole makes my life just way simpler than trying to, I don't even know how I would do it otherwise. But that old cedar mop works really well at just getting in there, scrubbing it all down, and not having to worry about pulling out a ladder or whatever I would need.
I know I messed it up like your father. You know you shouldn't care, but you bother. Take me back, take me back. Don't leave me back, 'cause now I see it clear. Don't leave me, all I want is to be here. Don't go, 'cause all I need is right here. With you, it feels like everything is so real, with you.
So this shower is massive. So it is a big project to do a deep cleaning like this. However, I absolutely love this shower. We did it this big, mainly get your head out of the gutter, mainly because of the dogs. When we do have to shower them, like our old shower was so small that it was very difficult. So we made this one like extra large with the idea of the dogs. Plus, I don't like baths. I've never given my kids baths except when they were like super little or for like fun, or for Bjorn's skin, but never for cleaning purposes. So I've always liked having a big shower. This makes it really easy where I can shower Freya. Obviously the boys are old enough that they shower by themselves. But when I have babies, I've always just had them shower with me because I feel like it's just way more hygienic and clean. Like I said, no problem with baths for like fun, playtime. They get to hang out, but I prefer when it comes to actually cleaning to do showers. So that is why we wanted this really big shower. Babies and dogs, which I guess is just another form of my babies. Now going in and giving these floors a really good mop. Most of the floors actually were not that bad except for right by the door. So little fun fact, Bailey's favorite spot to sleep if you've been with my channel for a while, I said this even the old house, is in the bathroom. So he normally sleeps right by the door. He is our St. Bernard, so he does drool. He's not horrible, but he will drool. So right by this door is where the floor was the worst because it's where he lays his head. So that is the main area I really had to get in and make sure was really, really clean. But then moving on to the rest of the house, mainly just needed tidying up, pillows everywhere and toys everywhere. Plus, Freya had accidentally spilt Bobby's coffee, so I needed to go in and clean that off the leather. I have to say that's probably one of my favorite things about now having leather over upholstered couches is they are so much easier to keep clean.
You got me wrapped around it. You feel me, your body wrapped around me. Good mistakes. Oh, you got me looped upon it. You and me.
I am so glad also that I was able to finally find the Method Wood for Good again. This is my favorite wood cleaner. It is always does a really good job, but it just smells amazing. Like, it makes me happy when I clean. And then I'm just going over the leather with these leather conditioning and cleaning wipes. Makes life so easy. I love these wipes. I just grab them and go. I feel like they don't leave the leather too like oily like some cleaners could do. Here you can see where that drink had spilled. And now I'm also noticing that I didn't get all the stuff on the carpet. I had cleaned the carpet right away when it had spilt, but didn't notice it got all over the couch too. And now I'm noticing by that end table there's more cleaning I'm going to have to do. Fun part about editing videos. Sometimes you notice things that you definitely didn't notice in the moment.
You got me looped upon it. You and me. Got me loose in sleep. I am in too deep like a
Now just going in and trimming up my little tree. This one was not that bad. It just had a couple brown tips and everything. And don't laugh at me. Like I said, I'm a newbie to plants. I'm not good at keeping them alive. I've been trying to get plants that are harder to kill. But I wasn't sure if I should trim these or not. And my nephew said yes, because they're not going to come back. They're going to stay brown, making your tree not look good. But also, if you trim them, then all that nutrition that was going to those leaves will go to the rest of the tree and just make it healthier. So, little tips. If you are like me and do not have a green thumb and maybe don't have a nephew with a green thumb to tell you exactly how to raise your plants, that was his tip for me. And then I actually had heard, not just from him, but from you guys in the comments, that the plants that I put in the sunroom actually needed to be in less of a sunny area. I thought I was doing a good thing by putting it in the window, all the natural sunlight. And I was told that the reason they weren't looking great is because of that. I guess they're like a rainforest type plant. That's what my nephew said. But because they're at ground level, they don't get a ton of sunlight in those areas. So his tip was to move them onto different tables. That way they had the light, but it was more not as direct.
What's on my mind?
This sunroom, ever since doing, has been a game changer. It has been so nice to have this extra living space. The kids will often go in here and play their VR. Sometimes Bobby and I will go out here just to relax. It's just kind of nice that it's still very open and we can all be together, but sometimes it's out of the way a little bit. Oh, and these were those plants I was talking about that were definitely getting way too much sunlight. After they got a haircut, they definitely look so much better, so much healthier, and they have been doing much better since moving them away from the window more. I wasn't sure if this table would be good. My nephew said, try it out. If they seem to not be liking it, you can move it again. But I think this is better, that it's not like turning yellow and wilted or anything like that. So one thing we are considering, I still haven't made that art piece. Life has been so crazy. Like, I have all these ideas in my head and there's still so many little projects that have to be done in this house. But we are thinking we might end up changing that AC unit to one of those slimmer ones. I've seen ads for them all the time, and I think it'll just help that room. Plus, that one's like kind of musty. I think it needs to be cleaned really well. I got to figure out how to clean it really well since I've never had something like that to keep clean. But now I'm just I had a grocery order delivered, so I'm just quickly putting all that stuff away. I did want to show you guys, this is where we keep our extra bags when we need them. Otherwise, I do recycle them, but we do use them. In smaller garbages, we use them. The boys mainly use them to clean up after the dogs, stuff like that. But I just needed a lot of just pantry staples. So I was almost out of flour. I was almost out of rice, vegetable oil. And then I really wanted to make pasties tonight. So I picked up some potatoes and things like that to make that. If you guys have never made pasties, I'm going to be sharing that recipe. It is so simple and so good. I don't know if it's exactly the traditional way of making an English pasty, but I have had it this way since I was a kid, and it is definitely one of my favorite dinners.
I bring you down whenever I try to find a clever way to say that I'm better now. You look great, however, this can't wait for the better, 'cause now I got a clever mind.
Pasta is something I go through a ton of. Mainly, I don't do a ton of pasta for dinner. Like, I do like pastas for dinner, but Xander will often make pasta for lunch. I got him this little handy, like, Tupperware container where he can just throw it in the microwave with some water to cook the pasta. And it's one of his favorite things to make for himself is spaghetti. Usually just with butter and salt, but it's something simple, easy that they can make themselves. So I always like keeping simple stuff like that on hand. And then yogurt. Freya loves her yogurt and goes through a ton of it. So I always have a bunch of yogurt on hand for her. She is obviously my little shadow. That's why you see her in my videos all the time. Here she was just hanging out with me, eating her lunch, and then watching Coco Melon like always. Like I said, she's my little shadow. That's why you see her throughout every single video. I normally film during the week when the boys are at school, so you'll see them usually at the end of my videos once they've been picked up from school, but a lot of times during the day, it's just me and Freya, and then Bobby often has like doctor's appointments and different things like that. So he's often not home during the day either, at least not all day. And then when he is home, he's always working on a project, normally projects outside. It definitely is one of those things of where I do a lot of the stuff inside. He often does a lot of the stuff outside, and it works really well because we're just not getting in each other's way.
Like a living piece of art. From the moment I knew that it would be you. Yeah, from that moment I knew it could only be you. I wrote your name up on my wall, circling an arrow heart. Somehow you made me feel whole. I wouldn't have to be alone. No,
All right, and then moving on to the boys' bathroom. I don't call it the kids' bathroom because Freya isn't usually in here. Normally she comes in our bathroom for getting her ready for the night. But the boys' bathroom, this bathroom is always so dirty. I have been working really, really hard, though, at the boys cleaning up after themselves. So their room, their bathroom, stuff like that. So I also will say I don't go in here every single week. I probably go in here about once every other week to do a really good cleaning on it. And that's because I am trying to get them better at cleaning up after themselves. As you can see, it works sometimes. Normally, I have to remind them to go in and clean their bathroom. If I tell them to go in and clean their bathroom, they do a really, really good job. But like I said, I wanted to go in and give it a good mommy touch on it. So that is what I'm doing today.
never had a
So I definitely think it is really, really important to give your kids responsibility and chores, and even to let them do some like deep cleaning, even if you have to go back and redo it when they're at school. I think it's important to teach your kids how to do that kind of stuff. So I have been getting them better at, like, when I tell them to go clean their room, to actually like vacuum it and bring in the duster and dust it and things like that. So like I said, I still go in and clean it often just to make sure it's done really thoroughly. But I do let the boys do a lot of that on their own. I am doing a lot less of worrying about their laundry, like putting it away and everything, which you're going to see. I have to organize out the room, and I helped them the other day just because I needed the basket back quicker. And I noticed their drawers are not organized at all. But I was trying to just be like, okay, they've been doing it. They've been putting it away. It wasn't even that it wasn't organized. It wasn't folded. Like, shorts were just put in the shorts drawer. Pants were just put in the pants drawer. But they have been doing it. So I'm okay with that. They're learning. They're 10 and 7. But it's really hard sometimes when you have done things a specific way for so long to give up that control to let your kids do it. But at the same time, like, as hard as that is for me, I know if I don't, I'm actually hurting my kids in the long run. So trying to let go a little bit and be okay with things not being perfect when it comes to stuff in their room and in their bathroom, and letting them learn by doing it themselves sometimes. So if you're in my position with kids that aren't quite teenagers but aren't quite toddlers, like they're very much in that learning stage, I feel you on like trying to figure out exactly those situations that you can give up control and let them learn, let them become good little human beings with responsibilities, because it can be really, really difficult.
How we always end up on the floor. We know how to push the buttons to the core. I've got you. If we figured out what it's all about, takes a second and then we back it again. Coaster ride for the triggered minds, but I don't ever want us to stop it. Go ahead, tell them to smile for all I care. Just wanna stay close, don't say that. Ain't gonna leave ya. Another touch of a million.
So the other thing I had been doing throughout this day that I hadn't really shown much was laundry. I am not the type that can do a load of laundry a day. I've tried it. It does not work for me. So I always just have mountains of laundry to get done. And today was my day to get completely caught up on laundry. And you're going to see that later on when I have to deal with the laundry later in the evening. But everyone says do a load of laundry a day, and I can't get on that train. I've tried, and it just stresses me out more than helps.
Smile for all I care. Just wanna stay close, don't say.
And then into little Mrs. room. Her room really wasn't that bad, just a little bit of tidying up. She had her stuffies all over the place. But her room, since redoing her closet, has been a lot easier to maintain. She hasn't been as much of a tornado, so this was pretty quick for me. And then I just had the robot vacuum go in and do a quick vacuum.
You look no way, but no, you didn't even see me. Cases a day, feeling every day like I'm going insane. 'Cause you and I are something I wish for every day.
All right, so now I'm going to be sharing my pasty recipe. I will say these did not turn out as pretty as they normally do, but like I said, this recipe is super, super simple. I just cut up about 4 potatoes into little bite-sized chunks. I like using Yorkshire Golds. I think they just are always really creamy and soft, and I don't feel like you have to peel them. The skin's nice and thin, so I always choose Yorkshire Golds when cooking potatoes.
Like me like that, just like that. like me like that.
And then once you're all done cutting up your potatoes, you just add some ground beef. I have also seen people use like steak chunks, and then salt and pepper really, really well. Normally I would use a fresh onion. I was all out. I thought I had one left, so I didn't add it to my grocery order, and I did not. So I threw some frozen onion in there, but like I said, it's normally much better with fresh onion. Now, I normally make my own pie dough. Like, it's really not that hard, but there are just some days where you just don't want to. And today was one of those days I did not want to make pie dough, give it the time to chill and everything. So store-bought pie dough can be really, really good. But I will say I don't like rolling like how they have them set up to roll out. So I always split them into 4 and then roll them out myself. I feel like I can get them to a better thickness. And then they don't, I don't know, they seem like extra sticky and weird when I try to unroll the rolls that you get from the store.
'Cause I know I am nobody to you, and it feels just like you want me to go now. But I hope you slow it down, hope you slow it down. 'Cause what I really need is your time, so will you like me like that? Just like that. Like me like that. Just like that. Like me like that.
And then after you're done rolling out your pie dough, you're going to make an egg wash. So I'm just going to be scrambling up some eggs with just a little bit of water just so it like can spread out well on your dough. And then I'm going to take a sheet of the dough, and some people just do the edges. I do the entire thing. I will spread out the egg wash and then add your mixture. Now, big thing with this is you want to really fill your dough. You don't want it to be just like, I don't know, lacking. So always do that. I just take my little pizza cutter then and take off the excess and then just crimp the edges. It's such an easy recipe. Like, there's almost no ingredients, and especially since you can get things like pre-cut onions at the store, pre-made pizza dough, things like, not pizza dough, pie dough, makes it really, really easy to put together, and it's a super quick weeknight meal.
If you need a hand, I am here for you. Walk that extra mile, I would do that too. If the end is near, just know that I got you. I'm your armor when things get tough. Know I got your back, your battles are mine too. I'll fight for you when things get hard. Lay it all on me when you're not strong enough to carry on. Baby, you should know I got you. Baby, you should know I got you.
Once you have them all put together, generously egg wash the top of it. We don't want to see any tan lines or anything like that. We want to make sure these are nice and golden brown. And then I preheated my oven to 350. Now, you do want to keep an eye on them because you'll take them out once they're all nice and golden brown, but it's normally about 30 to 45 minutes that they take to cook. I will normally set my timer for 30 minutes and check on them and see where they're at then, and make sure, pop those holes, that way they steam out. These are going to like release juices and stuff. That's normal. I did my crust probably a little thinner than I should have, but I don't like super, super thick crust, so that's why mine are like a little cracked and not as pretty as they normally are. All right, so it is getting to the end of the day. This was after dinner, after everything, and finally getting in and doing all this laundry, trying to get it. I just want to be all caught up, have everything done this day. So I was just finishing it up. The kids were able to put theirs away. I was able to put mine away.
that you never saw. No one ever saw. So I got what I deserved. You know it. I wanted it to hurt. So wrong of me to cross that line. If I could, I would push rewind. It's my fault. I'll give you my heart. You can crush it. Moving on. I'll be on my way if you.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, welcome if you are new. Today we are tackling our to-do list. I have talked about how with moving into this house, there's a lot of deep cleaning projects that I haven't been able to get done, that I've needed to get done. And I have decided that I have made a list and I'm going to slowly start tackling everything on that deep cleaning list to get this house in order. So starting first with a bunch of laundry, because this was the day I was trying to get all the laundry done. So I'm going to start there first, but we have a ton of deep cleaning motivation to come, so make sure you stay tuned. Also, a big thanks to Roborock for sponsoring today's video.
You watch me across the room. Your glances tells me that I am doomed. Is there a way to cool you down? Just one mistaken.
So I often get questions about how I keep up with things, and honestly, it's just consistency, because I know if I don't keep up with it, it'll get out of hand, I'll get overwhelmed, and then it just goes all downhill from there. So I always talk about things that make cleaning easier. One of those being my robot vacuum, another one of those being the vacuum mop that I have. Those are all things that make things easier for me. But having a routine is big as well. And not everyone's routine works for everybody. I know so many people that said, Cambria, do one load of day of laundry. Like, that's going to make your life so much easier. Stay on top of things. And I tried it, and it gave me so much anxiety. I was so overwhelmed that I could not keep up with it. So as much as doing the laundry all in one day may seem overwhelming to you, for others it may not be. For me, this is the best way for me to do it, is all laundry in one day, and the rest of the week I don't even worry about it. Now on this day the kids were at school, so often when I do the laundry I will have the boys put their own clothes away. But I decided on this day, I kind of wanted to go through and make sure everything was properly organized, fix things that may have been out of order. I wanted to do that without the kids around. So I decided that I would do this while they were at school. That way I could make sure it was done the way I wanted it to. Sometimes that just needs to be done. I let them handle their laundry most of the time, but inevitably it sometimes just goes awry and needs mom to come in and reorganize and re-put things back where they're supposed to be.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of.
So I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but I did start up my Helping Hand series. I'm calling it Hoarders Revamped Helping Hand series because this is a spin off of my original Hoarders series. The biggest thing is, though, I'm helping everybody. I'm not just looking for the insanely crazy that needs help, but purely people that just need help. So currently the house I'm working on is a family friend whose dad passed, and she's just way too overwhelmed to be able to get her dad's house in order like it needs to be. So I'm taking that off her plate. But also I'm going to be working with people that may be elderly and can't keep up with their house anymore and just need someone to come in and give it a fresh start. Parents that may be overwhelmed, because toddler stage is hard and it's easy to get overwhelmed by being a parent and clutter and all of those things. or possibly people that are disabled and not able to do it, especially disabled. That has a big thing to my heart because obviously Bobby's a disabled veteran, and any way I can help people in need is kind of what I'm looking for. So if you guys have not seen those videos, definitely go check them out. I just started this up. I don't know how often I will be posting. My goal is to post a video every single week, but it will kind of depend on how quickly I can find people that need the help.
We could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between. So baby, we should start living.
All right, now I'm just picking everything up because I knew I wanted to have my Roborock go in and vacuum the bedroom. That way I could just work on other stuff and not worry about it. You guys know I absolutely love my Roborock vacuum. This is a vacuum and mop. The mop is a sonic vibration that will vibrate and scrub the hardest of dirt off your floors. 3,000 times a minute is the pulsation on it. But what I really like is it does have the auto carpet sensor. So you're going to see here when it's on the hard floors, the mop is down. But when it senses the carpet, the mop goes back into place. That way you're not doing like, oh, just a mopping time or just the hard floors. You can let it do all of it, and it's going to sense that for you. Here you can see it going back down because it sensed that it was on hard floors. It also has the auto empty, which makes my life so much easier with the dog hair. Now, my bags fill up pretty quickly, but still, I only change about once a month. And then the water cartridge is really big. For it to do our entire house, I only need to fill this once every 2 mops. So that is pretty good. It's got this rubber roller that is a floating roller, so that no matter the surface, if it's an uneven surface, this roller goes up and down. I feel this is key for how well it cleans the floors. And then the wheels do the same thing. They will go up and down, and then it has this side brush to sense everything. By far one of my favorite cleaning tools, and makes cleaning as a busy mom so much easier. So big thanks once again to Roborock for sponsoring today's video. I'm going to be showing this a lot more in today's video. Plus, you guys have seen this a ton in all my other videos, but I did want to kind of touch base a little bit more in depth about this. Roborock now is having a huge sale for December. I believe the Roborock is 28% off, which is huge. And then the Roborock Dyad, which is my mopping vacuum, which you're going to see here in a little bit, is 30% off. So check out my link in the description below. I will have all of this listed down there. If you have been thinking about this, now is the time to do it. With Christmas coming up, make it an early Christmas gift for yourself. I guarantee you won't regret this.
Let's working hard. We want you to return his love. Now he's beating diamonds on you. But that ain't enough to turn the page. He's kneeling, wants to feel known. But he's not the one who
I know I talk about this all the time, but you guys, you have no idea how much I love cleaning my kitchen since having the kitchen done. Like, it is so enjoyable to clean. I know this won't last forever, but you guys know how hard we worked on this house the past couple of months, especially to have it done before the holidays. And it definitely makes me really happy to clean this kitchen. And that sounds so silly. But one thing I have not cleaned in a bit were these light fixtures that we put up. And I noticed the other day that they had gotten really dusty. So I wanted to go in and give those a really good cleaning. It's easy to miss stuff like that, especially when you're short like I am. It's really easy to miss things that aren't at eye level. So I highly recommend like once a month making a list of things that you don't think about, things that you may not notice on a regular basis, and just tackle those things because they're so easy to forget. And this is a good way to do it. Like I said, that's kind of what I'm doing in this video today, is things that I've been like, oh, I should tackle that. And then I forget because there's a million other things to do that are daily tasks that it's so easy to forget these other side things that have to be done as well. So making a list of things that you notice, and then one day just deciding, okay, I'm only going to tackle this list and get as much off this done as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have known.
Now, moving on to my floors. This is the Roborock Diet. You guys have seen me use a good amount of these different mop vacuums. This one is one of my favorites, and the biggest thing being is out of all of them, this one does the best when it comes to edge cleaning. It doesn't just have one roller, it actually has 3. It has one long one and then 2 shorter ones that spin in opposite directions to really help clean the floors. And then it does have a loading dock that also auto cleans your rollers. Once again, by far one of my absolutely favorite cleaning tools. It's one of those things that you don't think you need until you have it, and then you can't imagine living without it. Makes life a lot easier, especially if for any reason you have a hard time mopping your floors. Making it where it's just one step instead of multiple steps is always a lot easier. And I don't know about you, but my kitchen needs to be cleaned daily. Like, with the kids eating at the counter and everything, it has to be done all the time. Like I said, though, check out my link. It's in the description below. They have huge sale going on for December. But now moving into where the garbage sits. This is another area that I notice almost daily, and I tell myself, I need to get to that. Constantly kept telling myself. I finally added it to my list of areas that need to be cleaned. That way I could just, once again, go down my list and get it done. You don't realize how bad this gets until you take the garbages out and it like smacks you in the face. So I'm really glad I was able to get to this. I'm going to definitely have to do it more often. It's getting easier to keep up with these deep cleaning projects, though, the more we get done with the house. So I'm very grateful to that, because I'll be honest, seeing that myself, knowing that I am someone that tries to stay on top of it, is very embarrassing. And like, why and how did I let it get that bad? But moving on to the outside, I don't show the outside of our house that often. You can see we got our new fence in, but I needed to clean these cushions outside. If you guys remember when we first moved into this house, this was the first furniture we had. I made sure to get outside patio furniture because, 1, I knew we'd need it anyway, and 2, I knew I could put it in the house while we were tearing down walls and everything, and at least have somewhere to sit. But that means the kids were eating on this furniture. There was everything going on with these cushions, and every day when I went outside and saw them, I'm like, oh, I really need to tear these apart and clean them, and just wasn't getting to it. So once again, on the list, things to get done. Very grateful it's done, and you are going to be in shock at how good they look when they are clean. I also highly recommend, when you are looking at outdoor furniture especially, make sure they have the zippers. Not all of them had zippers. My footstools ones did not. So those I had to do more manually, but these ones, being able to just zip off, so easy. They cleaned up so well. Definitely well worth it.
not be the one who pretend, acting like everything's sane. I never asked you to stay, but you're staying. You're giving it all for the fame. In vanity you have no shame. None of it makes any sense. Can you feel it?
Now, to wash them, I'm not really doing anything super like special with them. I'm just using my normal laundry detergent as well as some vinegar. I figured that'll help break down anything on it. Plus, vinegar, if you don't know, can be used as a fabric softener, and it doesn't leave the residue that traditional fabric softener does. So if you guys ever wonder why I buy so much vinegar, it is because it is able to be used on so many different things. But then I'm just going in and washing down the outside of the furniture. It wasn't that bad, but I knew giving it a good scrubbing. We are not far from the ocean at all, so the air here is very, very salty. So this was able to get any salt residue off the furniture as well as dust buildup. And I'm just using really, really hot water and Dawn dish soap. Nothing too fancy, just a dollar store scrubby, some Dawn dish soap, and hot water.
Now this is the price that we pay, facing the problems we made. None of it makes any sense. Can you feel it? I don't wanna hear all your table talk. Let me see the one who you really are. I know it's so.
And yes, I am using the exact same solution on these footstools. It worked really, really well to get it all clean. And you're going to see later, once I rinse everything down, because I do rinse it all off, I just throw these in the sun. Sun is one of your best natural stain removers. Like if you have a really, really bad stain and you have washed it, you have tried out so many things, wash it and then go let it lay out in the sun. It works miracles on so many stains to lighten or completely take out. So for these, I scrubbed them down and then I just went and laid them on the other side of the pool where the sun was, and they were dry within about an hour and made it really, really easy.
Just a bit is enough when we're fading. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing? We are lost for the cause in our own specific state. It's the logic of things that I never could explain. Fill the blanks in our data sheets when I'm missing a single.
All right, I know I asked this in a couple videos ago, but I'm going to ask it again. It's been a week or so since I asked last. Are you done Christmas shopping? This is kind of my reminder to you that Christmas is coming up so quickly, and it's so easy to forget. I just got done with all of our Christmas shopping. It feels so good. This year obviously is a little bit weirder because of all the out-of-state family, but I am also very excited because there's gifts for family that do live down here that we normally wouldn't have gotten, but since we are here, we got it for them. I'm not going to give anything away because said family likes to watch my videos, so I'm not going to be telling you. But this year's Christmas shopping was definitely a little bit different because we did a lot of Amazon shopping and not a lot of in-store shopping, because it's so much easier just having it sent, wrapped, all the things via Amazon. So I made sure all of our nieces and nephews are shopped for, parents are shopped for. We don't do on our side sibling gifts because honestly, my brothers and sisters and I just honestly don't see a point. We're all at an age where we need something or want something, we buy it for ourselves. So we're kind of just doing the gift giving as just because instead of just an actual need. So, but on Bobby's side, we do a gift exchange. So we don't shop for everybody, but we draw names from a hat and we each buy for one of the siblings or spouses. And that's always really, really fun. But yeah, super excited. I am done Christmas shopping, and I am curious if you guys are all done. Have you been done for a while? Am I reminding you that you still have Christmas shopping to do and getting your butt moving, because Christmas is so close. Like, we're literally coming down to just a few weeks and Christmas will be here.
Or just let it go. But honey, we have to be together here in the stormy weather. So why do we hold on, stuck in the stormy weather?
And then, just like I said, quickly spraying this all down. I wanted to get all the soap residue off. I knew this would dry fairly quickly, so I was not really concerned about having the cushions get soaked. It is December, and we are still dealing with low to mid 70s, which is amazing. The kids went swimming today. Now, mind you, it's been getting chillier at night, and the pool isn't like freezing, but it's definitely not warm enough that I would be swimming in it. But you guys know how kids are. Like, kids don't care. They will swim in almost anything as long as it is warm outside to any point. But I was just teasing the kids the other day. I'm like, do you realize it is December? It's almost Christmas, and you're in the pool right now. But now, just quickly turning on, this is our robot vacuum for our pool. Once again, another robot that I absolutely love, because I just throw it in here. It runs for about 30 minutes and gets everything off the bottom of the pool, which is super, super nice. I thought with these dining room chairs that I had gotten cushions with zippers, and sadly I did not. So I was looking at them all, trying to see if they all needed to get cleaned or just a couple of them. Quickly realized it was all of them. So I decided, since they didn't have zippers, I was just going to put them in the bathtub and use my same recipe for fabric stripping on these cushions. So just Tide, borax, and baking soda, and let them soak for a couple of hours. And then I throw them in the washing machine after they're done soaking. Just on a regular wash cycle. I don't add any more soap because there's enough soap in the cushions, and they came out so clean. I thought I did a before shot, and I must not have hit record, unfortunately. So I had to wait on that. But now, moving on to the sliding glass doors. Once again, another thing that I've been putting off. And it's not just the track. Like, it is the whole surround of these sliding doors were so dirty that I needed to go in and do all of it. But I'm very happy I did, because it turned out so good when I was done.
Made up your mind just to see it through. There's nobody else here waiting. Just tell me how to get through to you. 'Cause I just wanna get closer. Started out here, way beyond the tracks. The story of us.
Also, if you can hear any weird noises in the background, don't mind it. Bobby is actually currently outside putting in a doggy door in the pool area. Now that we have the new fence, it's a lot nicer because the dogs don't have to go on leashes to go to the bathroom. We can just let them outside. But he wanted to put from the pool area to the grass a little doggy door. That way, all we had to do is let them into the pool area, and they could go in and out as they please. Or if we're outside hanging out in the pool area, they can just go in and out as they please. So if you're curious what that noise is in the background, like I said, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but if you can, that's him. He is cutting through metal, so it is not quiet. Oh, and quick side note, to vacuum this up, I am using our shop vac please do not vacuum up liquid with your regular vacuum. I specifically brought in the shop vacuum knowing that this would be a big job to vacuum up the baking soda and vinegar. But then I am going in with my power paste to clean all the side grooves and tracking and metal. This power paste works so good on this stuff. Highly recommend if you haven't tried power paste, give it a try. I haven't decided if I like it more than the pink stuff or not. I do like the thickness of it. I think that is one thing that I do really enjoy, is how thick of a product it is. And I feel like a little bit goes a really long way.
There's a new part of me, a part I want you to see. You haven't seen the best of me, I know. You can try to fool yourself, like you love somebody else, but you and him will never feel the way we do.
So that little rectangular thing that you see me trying to scrape off, if you're wondering what that is, I have no idea. But I do know lemon essential oils or any citrus essential oils works really well with stickers, or it's kind of like a Gooby Gone when you use citrus essential oils. So I just quickly threw that on there and then went over it again with the power paste after letting the oils. See, this is what you don't see in Power of Editing. I let that oil sit on there for about 5 minutes before I went back with the power paste, and it scrubbed off super, super easy. So some things when it comes to cleaning, all is the power of patience. Like sometimes you need to just put the product on and walk away for 5-10 minutes, and your life's going to be so much easier. And I feel like often in these videos, you don't see that because I'm not going to show you me sitting on the couch for 5 minutes to let it sit before I go back. But you will notice that with a lot of different things. If you have, let's say, burnt on stuff on your stove, you'll see often that I scrub my stove and then I'll go to something else in the kitchen and then go back to it. And the reason I do that is it's giving that product time to work. So if you're ever noticing that a product isn't working for you because it's not, or you're using just like you saw it on a YouTube video, one thing I want you to keep in mind is we often edit out that wait time in between uses. Like I said, there's a lot of times that I will put something on, let it sit there for a couple minutes and come back. So, power of patience. We all need to work on our patience sometimes.
You got my heartstrings tangled, tangled up. You got my heartstrings vibrating for you now. There's something more that you don't want to get. We're perfectly
So I will say I was hoping to get this door done and the other sliding glass door going to the pool area. I was exhausted though after doing this screen door. Like this door took, I don't even know how long. It probably took me close to 30 minutes to an hour to get it like completely done. All the metal, all the everything. It was exhausting, and I just did not want to do the other door. So I still have it on my list that I have to do the other door as well, but I was happy to at least have this. Also, who can see Little Miss's handprints right next to me on the window? This is why my windows are never completely cleaned. However, I did just buy this cool little window cleaner thing that I'm really hoping works. I'm going to give it a try. And if I like it, of course, I'll share it with you guys, but I'm super excited. That should be coming this weekend. So hopefully, cross my fingers, I get it and I like it because I'm really excited to use it and share it with you guys.
There's something more that you don't want to get. We're perfectly
back into the laundry room. Can't forget to switch over the laundry, especially when you're doing all of this, trying to keep up with getting everything cleaned and washed. I had to really clean out that lint trap. I don't know if I forgot to the time before or if Drake's bed was just that crazy dirty, but I definitely had to clean that out. It probably was just Drake's bed because he sheds like crazy. But once I was done with that, turning the robot vacuum on once again to do the dining room. This is always really nice because it gets under all the chairs really well. And once again, I just don't have to worry about it. It went in, it vacuumed, it mopped, and I was able to set up dinner and do other stuff that I still had to get done because I can't just clean all day. I still have 3 kids, a husband, 2 dogs. Oh, I love that you just saw LaFreya's little feet go like Speedy Gonzalez across the camera. But after a couple hours, these cushions were finally done. So I just went outside to put them all back together. Freya really, really wanted to help. So you're going to see here in a second that I let her bring over all the cushions to me because she kept trying. And the easiest thing for her to do was bring me all the cushions. And she loved it. She loves being Mama's little helper. And I love letting her help. I think it's a really good thing to teach them young also because then they hopefully complain less as they get older.
I am madly drawn to you. I know you feel the same. You got my heartstrings tangled, tangled up. You got my heartstrings vibrating for you now. There's something more, but you don't want to admit it. Whoa, we're perfectly opposite.
So these cushions were not that hard to get back into the little covers. However, I did see a trick. If you ever have a hard time getting your cushions back into the covers, where people put them in a black garbage bag, sealed it up with a vacuum cleaner, and basically like vacuum sealed the cushion, and then put it in, and then let it out so it fluffed back up, and it looked so much easier. I was going to try that if these were a pain for me, but it wasn't a big deal. But a little trick, I saw that on TikTok, and I kind of wanted to try it, but like I said, I ended up not needing to try it. It ended up going on pretty easy for me.
We're perfectly opposite. You got my heartstrings tangled, tangled up. You got my heartstrings vibrating.
So are these 100% perfect? No. Also, this is the before, not the after, to scare you. Are these 100% perfect? No, but my goodness, they are way better than what they were because they were horrendous before.
I'm walking in an empty town. I'm walking where we first sat down.
So this water actually wasn't that bad, but these cushions also weren't the worst in the world. I have done this with other things before, and the water was really, really gross. Oh, also, because people a lot of times ask how I deep clean my cleaning cloths, this exact same recipe. Tide, borax, and baking soda, and let it soak in really hot water for a couple hours and then throw it in the washing machine. Best way to clean your cleaning cloths, your mop heads, any of those things that get really, really dirty. They're amazing for. If your significant other or yourself are real big into working out and stuff and you get those really sweaty clothes, your husband has those pit stains in his shirts, this works really well for that as well. But now moving into the family room, the ceiling fan desperately needed to be cleaned. The ceiling fan is on pretty much all the time, so I often don't realize how dirty it gets till I happen to turn it off and I'm completely disgusted. And that was today, so I just wanted to go in and give it a quick wipe down, as well as getting these windows cleaned. I haven't cleaned these windows, and Bobby wanted to put up some more Christmas lights. Yes, more Christmas lights. And I needed to clean the windows before he put those up.
Our love when Santa's free. Our love when Santa's free, yeah. Our love when Santa's free. You know our love when Santa's free, yeah. Our love when Santa's free.
So to clean these windows, I was actually all out of my World Best window cleaner, the spray away. So I was just using my Thieves cleaner. I had people recommend for the longest time for me to use my Thieves cleaner on my windows, and they were right. It works so well. I still love my spray away. I feel like it just really clings to any dirt and grime, which for me, with the dogs and the kids, there's a lot of that. Like, if the dogs are looking out the windows and they're like licking the windows, they get really, really gross. But the Thieves cleaner worked really well and it was streak free. So I was very happy with that. But putting all the cushions back on, this was the end of it for me. I was finally able to just say I am done for the day. And I was very, very happy about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment, share it with a friend. All of those things really help out my channel. So if you guys feel so inclined, I would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you're new here, I would love if you would like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And don't forget to check out my links in the description below if you guys are interested in checking out Roborock for yourself. If you guys have been with my channel for any length of time, you guys know how much I love my Roborock stuff, so you're not going to regret it. And you